Hi ladies, so let's go ahead and take a look at my Gwynnie Bee from July. The rotation was a little bit slow. There were a couple of items that I used on more than one occasion and a couple of items that I had to wait for the right time to wear due to heat and other factors. But you'll also get a look at this dress, which I'm just wearing as a kind of casual thing for today, and a few other things. So hope you enjoy.
The Color Block Sheath Dress by Elke in a size 22.
So this dress is a little too warm considering how hot of a day it is currently. It's about mid-80s, lower 90s where I am currently. And even though this dress is short-sleeved and not terribly long or layered or anything like that, it is a scuba knit, so it kind of holds in the heat a little bit. And as a result, I'm a little overwarm right now. I did wear this to work, and so I've just gotten home from work, and the heat, just kind of walking into the apartment at this point, is a little bit too warm. There's not a lot of breathing in this particular dress, and so if you live in a hot or humid climate, definitely consider that if you are thinking about trying this one. I do like the kind of color blocking along with the design of the front of it. The design is on the back as well, but as you can tell, there's color blocking on the side to kind of break that up. And I do think that that's kind of neat. There's kind of I don't know, almost plaid inspired design with this one, but not quite. Just kind of has the flavor of it, and there are a lot of different colors to work with in this dress. So if you're looking for something to pop a shoe color or handbag color or something like that, this could be a dress to try with that. It does have a back zip with a hook eye closure, but other than that, as you can tell, it's pretty simple. It fits pretty easily overhead. I didn't actually require the zipper. The one problem that I had with this one was the upper portion of it is a little bit big and blocky for me, which isn't uncommon for dresses for me because my upper portion is smaller than my lower portion. So I usually have to size up in dresses to accommodate this section, and that means that this upper area tends to be a little bit loose. And that was the case for this one as well. There is an extra piece of fabric in here that's kind of the buffer, the placket along the bib line, which is not uncommon in dresses, but with this particular fabric it had a tendency to want to roll over. So if you do get this dress, before wearing it, you might want to run over it with an iron a few times just to help lay that flat. But as a result, this dress had a tendency to want to ride up and bunch up in the shoulders. You can probably see it a little bit doing that now, just having walked in from the parking area of my apartment building. So I did find myself kind of doing this a lot today. So other than it being just kind of comfortable and a fairly easy dress to wear, the fact that I had to keep pulling at it throughout the day just definitely made it a little bit more high maintenance than I would want in a dress to keep. So I'm not planning on trying this one again. I'm just going to go ahead and send it back after the single wearing, but it did what it was meant to do, and it meant that I didn't have to think about an outfit for work today. So
The Stripe Knit Dress in Aqua by London Times in 20W.
So straight off the bat, I really like the color of this dress. It's a bright summer Caribbean aqua blue, and that's been a nice change of pace for me, especially because lately it seems with Gwynnie Bee I've been getting a lot of black and white clothing, and when I am getting other colors they do tend to be a little bit darker. So this was a nice change of pace. It was really, really bright. Got a lot of compliments when I wore this to work, and so that was appreciated, and it was lightweight enough for this to be comfortable on a summer's day as long as it wasn't too hot. We're approaching the 90s right now where I am, and just wearing this for the video is a little too warm. primarily because this is a knit. It is double layered, so there is a lining to it, which of course is nice, just to kind of help smooth things out, but it does also leave a little bit more warmth involved with it. So if you are in a warmer climate, or if you have to deal with humidity, weigh that into consideration as to when you might want to closet this. The other thing that I wasn't too much of a fan of as I started wearing this during the day, I'm just going to zoom in here, the kind of knit formation of this, it's designed to look a little bit like actual knitting. The patterns on it are very distinctive, and over time that didn't really appeal to me. When I first looked at it, I thought it was really kind of cute, and then as I was wearing it during the day, I just kind of started to get a little annoyed with it. So because the pattern is all over, front and back, sleeves, yoke, everything, I started to feel a little bit like a doily, and that wasn't really my thing. So I love the color. The feel of it is really good. I love the structure of it. It is a zip back, but there's enough room for me to pull it over my head. And I do like the fact that the neckline isn't too deep, so I could wear it comfortably to work without feeling like I needed to wear anything under it. But the pattern on it kind of got stale on me, so I'm not really interested in wearing this one again, which is kind of a bummer because I do like kind of the rest of it. So if you kind of like this knit image of the patterning on this, definitely think about giving this one a try, because aside from that, everything else about it I really, really liked. So if that hadn't been an issue for me, this might be ending up permanently in my closet. So think about that if this is something that you are interested in checking out.
The Della Tunic dress by Johnny was in a 2X.
So as you can see, this dress is probably best suited for kind of more casual situations. When I had initially closeted it, I thought it might be a cute dress to wear to work on like a casual Friday during the summertime. But when I got it, I realized it was just a little bit too casual for the work environment. So I ended up just kind of wearing it like this during a vacation day, outing, errand day, and it was perfect for that. So it is a cotton dress. The armholes aren't too deep, just kind of comes over the top, and you can see that the embroidery is on both the front and the back. The neckline isn't too deep, so it doesn't make it uncomfortable or too skin revealing for those of you that like to be a little bit more discreet. But it's definitely very comfortable, very breathable, and as you can tell, you can wear it with jeans or leggings if you wanted to do it that way, or absolutely could wear it just as a dress by itself. I would definitely say, though, that if you are looking for kind of a cool, comfortable dress to wear in a corporate work environment, this is probably not the one that you're going to want to go with. I do tend to work in a pretty casual corporate environment on the West Coast, and this is a little too casual even for my workplace. So just bear that in mind. Because it is a cotton material, it did arrive pretty wrinkled, but as I was wearing it during the day, it kind of shook out a little bit. Isn't quite so bad, but do keep that in mind if this is something that you are interested in getting for yourself. So not something that I'm interested in keeping long term. Again, I do think that there are some limitations to wearing this, but if you're looking for kind of a casual summer dress that you can wear on the weekends or wear on outings, if you are in an environment where you don't have to worry about dressing up for work, but you still want something that looks nice and is colorful and is pretty, then this might be a good option for you. So definitely check it out if you're interested.
Della blouse in Ladybug by Effie's Heart in 2X.
I was a little unsure about this top when I first pulled it out of the box, but once I actually put it on and wore it to work one time, I actually ended up really liking it. It was perfect for midsummer in the office, with it being comfortable and casual and cool, which was always nice in the midsummer. But also, you know, pairing it with a pair of slacks, just looking kind of cute for an office environment. I did end up wearing a navy cardigan over this and a navy pair of slacks, just to kind of keep it a little bit more tailored, I guess, so to speak, for my office. But once I left the office, it was very easy, obviously, to take off that cardigan and just wear the top like this. It's really comfortable. It's a nice, comfortable, breathable fabric, which is always appreciated in the summertime. The color of it is like a dusty, kind of a dusty blue, so it's not in your face in terms of color, but it's definitely a little bit of a pop of color. And of course the ladybug design on there is really, really cute. The tie in the front is just kind of more decorative than anything else. It's not like it's really closing up anything. It just kind of enhances the design of the entire shirt. But I do like the fact that it's not super dippy low, and the tie doesn't kind of poof out in front of you. It's not like a big old bow. If you wanted a big bow, I guess you could tie it into a big bow, but you don't need to do that. And it covers the butt nicely, plenty of room. The armholes aren't that deep, so if you are in an office environment where you don't necessarily have to cover up your arms for your workplace, this would be totally fine. You're not going to expose anything that you don't want exposed. So this is actually a really, really nice top. Not really sure if I would consider keeping this one, but I do think I'm probably going to hold on to it for one or two more wearings, especially since we're really in the heat of the summer right now. So if you are holding out for this one, you might have to wait a little longer, because I'm going to keep it a little longer.
Summer iCat dress in blue by London Times in 20W.
So I like this one a lot, and I mean a lot. Like, I love the colors of it. I love the drape of it. It's extremely comfortable and very easy to wear. It is still pretty hot here in California, so this was a nice dress for the office. And I wasn't overheated coming home, which is always nice. And it was just so comfortable and just easy to wear. It's a pullover. There's no zippers or anything to fuss with or catch, or, you know, anything to really worry about it. I absolutely love the coloration on it. It's got all different shades of blue, and there's a little bit of black and white in there to help offset. And it was just super, super, super easy to wear. The only thing that is preventing me from pulling the trigger on buying this one at this point, aside from the price, because, you know, the price could always be lower, but the one little issue that I have with it is that the armholes and kind of the shoulder area is kind of snug. It's a little bit on the snug side, so it does feel a little bit tight when I'm kind of moving around. It's not super restricting, so it's not like I was fighting with it over the day, but it's definitely noticeable enough that I'm not sure if that's something that I want to deal with. So my plan is right now to go ahead and give it another wearing or two to the office and see if that becomes an issue, or if it's something that I can kind of get accustomed to, because if I can get adjusted to it, this one might be staying with me. I really like this one a lot.
Lace top in ivory by 9 West in 20W.
Okay, so forgive the junk shorts that I'm pairing with this one for just the filming. This is not how I actually wore this top. I've worn this a couple of times to work with just some basic slacks, and on one occasion a cardigan over, and then on another occasion kind of a sweater vest kind of thing over it, just to kind of cover the arms a little bit, because the armholes are a little bit deep, And in my office environment, it's more appropriate to not expose quite so much skin and bra. So I did wear something over it, and it was fine. The top itself is pretty nice. I wish it were a little bit longer because I do like to have kind of my fanny covered a little bit more, but it's not that bad. And it's pretty flexible. It's not like it's super stiff or causes any tightness around the belly, which is appreciated. The overlay, the lace overlay, is definitely lacy, but it's a soft lace, so I didn't have to deal with scratchiness or anything uncomfortable. The one thing that I didn't really like about this top is the lining. It's got kind of that silky polyester lining, which in and of itself isn't horrible. I mean, it's pretty comfortable, and it does help block, you know, any underwear from showing through, unless you were to wear something maybe really, really bright, in which case it might not block everything. But, you know, just kind of helps with additional coverage. The one problem that I have with it is it's a little bit unforgiving. So while it's not tight during the heat, it's not very breathable, and over time it can get a little uncomfortable. Just for this purpose right now of filming in 90-degree weather right now, even though it's cooler in the house, I'm actually starting to get a little warm just wearing it. So bear that in mind if you're in a warmer climate or a humid climate. This might not be the best thing for you if you are out in that warmer air, you know, longer than maybe just transitioning from car to building kind of thing. So the other thing that I thought was a little odd is that the diamonds, the large diamond pattern on here is not quite as bright as I thought it was going to be. It comes across almost as a cream color, and I don't know if that's a product of actually the intention of the shirt, or if that's just from wear and tear, multiple washings, multiple people wearing it, and it's just kind of eventually staining. So it's kind of consistent across all the diamonds, so maybe that's intentional, but if it is, I kind of wish it weren't, because I think it would have been better and more crisp if it had been actually like a pop of white. But I mean, it's all right. It was okay for a couple of wearings. But mostly because of that heat retention issue, it's not something that I'm interested in keeping long term. So it was all right for a couple of wearings in the office, and if you're looking for something that's kind of in the casual area but still dressy up, if you work in an environment where something like that is needed, that this might be a good option for you. So definitely check it out.
Side Twist Dress by Landa Kerr by Dora Landa in 2X.
I think I like this one more in concept than in execution, to be honest with you. I might have needed to go a size down on this one. It feels a bit loose, but I'm a little afraid that if I size down on this, it would actually end up making this dress super clingy, which is also not a good thing for me, since I've got a lot of things to cling to. And it already looks like it's defining areas that I'd rather not have defined. I like the idea of it being kind of a goddess wrap, almost toga wrap inspired dress. And the fabric is very lightweight and flowy, which is definitely appreciated in the summertime. I like it being kind of complementary hues, so they're in the same family, but there's still a contrast. The problems that I'm having with it, aside from it clinging in the areas that I'd rather not have it clung to, is that it seems like there's a lot of puckering along the seams. I don't know how well this is going to actually show. It is ruched, and that's intended, but there's also a lot of puckering along the actual seams that I don't think are intended. And that may be a product of just multiple wearings and washings. I'm not really sure. It does pull over, so you don't have to fight with any hook eyes or zippers or anything like that. But as you can tell, it's pretty low cut. You can see my bra sticking out right here, and definitely can see some bra there. So This is going to have to be something that will require a camisole or a tank top under it if I were to try wearing this to work, which of course adds yet another layer and more things to cling to. So I might have to try a shaper with this one and a camisole to kind of see if I can get this workable for at least one wearing at work. I think I'd be okay with it for one wearing as long as I'm not having to, you know, rush off to meetings or do a presentation or anything like that. If it's just kind of a calm day at work, I think this will be fine. But this is definitely not a keeper for me, and it's kind of a little disappointing. It didn't quite live up to what I was hoping for.